coach. Your team had a 5-0 start to the campaign. That's the first time in program history. You also won a UTSA invitational title. Could you start us off with an opening statement?
We had so much fun this weekend. Um, the girls just were so resilient. The fight and the punch back, it's the good Rocky quote, it doesn't, this is how winning is done. It's not how many times you can get hit, it's how many times do you come back up and hit them back. And it just seemed like we were, punching back the whole weekend. And I think 4 of the 5 games were come from behind. And I can't say enough about that. That is one of the things that we really emphasize is, being feisty, being a road runner, pluck and grit. We talk about plucking them, and we saw a lot of that this weekend. A bunch of pluck and grit, a bunch of throwing punches and fighting back, and taking the blow and then getting back up and blowing back. So it was really fun. They had a lot of fun. I enjoyed watching them. Really impressed with some of the new kids, and really excited about the season.
Katia, 2 wins, a save, a .77 ERA, 10 strikeouts. What worked so well in the circle for you?
Um, just trusting the process, trusting the pitch calling. Van's an expert at this. She's been here for a while. So, whatever she called, I knew I could do it. She knew I could do it. And if I just hit my spot, no matter where the ball was going on the field, my defense had my back. So that gives me the confidence to do what I can do, to allow my defense and my coaches to understand what I can truly do to my full potential.
Makayla, you had squad high 8 RBIs over the weekend, 3 doubles, a home run to kind of give the offense that kick it needed against Weber State in the championship game. And from what I've heard, you called your shot. So where does that confidence come from, and what was it like seeing the result?
Honestly, it was just like getting angry and getting gritty after my first at bat, knowing that like I went up literally right after I got into the dugout after I struck out. I went to my coach and I said, "Yeah, next time I get that pitch, like it's gonna go far. Like I won't let that slide."
Well, she actually said she was going to hit it to the tennis field,
Yeah.
which is in right center, and we let her think it was a field, but eventually she realized, oh wait, it's the tennis court. But
yeah, I did say tennis field. I don't know where that came from. But no, yeah, I told her, I was like, I'm going to hit that very far. It's going to go to the tennis field. I'm not like going to let that slide again. And whenever I was on deck or when I was in the hole, I told Smitty, I said, Smith, she's going to throw that pitch again, first pitch, and I'm going to hit it. And sure enough, that first pitch, I rewatch it every time. It was such a great feeling. But knowing that, like, having that grit and just going up there angry, like, I really had a purpose to hit that pitch.
All right, we'll open it up to questions now using the raise hand function. Sean, you can start us off.
Coach, I know there's a lot of games still to be played, and there's a lot more you want to get accomplished. But as you're building a program, as you're building a culture, how important are milestones like the best start in school history?
oh, huge. I mean, it sets a hunger, a desire. We've talked about wanting more. That's one of our core values, is to want more. And when you set a program record, it says, okay, we can do this, and you want to do more of that. So I think, starting off hot is great. And, we all know it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But in the stage of the program where we are right now, I think it is a huge milestone, a great stepping stone, a great confidence builder. And our schedule will continually increase with the American Conference after Saturday. I didn't do the math on after Sunday, but after Saturday, on Sunday morning, our league was 32-8. So, we're in a great league, and we're just going to continue to ramp up the competition, and it will require having this confidence of this first weekend to draw back on, to know that when maybe I don't get that pitch I expected, I can handle that because I know I've got the confidence. I've been there, I've done it, I've been in that situation. And those are the things I've been trying to explain to the girls, that fighting back the way we did, you've been in the situation and you can grow confidence from having experienced it. Whether you succeeded or not in that moment, you can value that experience as, I've been there, done that, and I know what it feels like, and I can handle it the next time. So I think the weekend was huge for the growth of the program.
Sean?
Katia, a player as accomplished as you are coming out of junior college, you probably had a lot of options. Why did you decide to attend UTSA?
Um, I wanted to be closer to home, and this felt like home. Like, not only did I feel like I was going to be closer to home, I felt like I belonged here. Um, they told me their goals. I have the same goals, and I knew it was something I could help this team accomplish. And the girls have made it so easy, like as Van just mentioned, we want more, and the entire team wants more. I've been somewhere that's gotten pretty far. So for the girls to be open to me, allowing them to trust the process of wanting more, they've made it so easy, which is really why I chose it here, because it feels right.
Justin?
Yeah, excuse me. For both players, as you're going through this weekend, how much momentum did you carry from game to game? I mean, you get on a winning streak and, it leads into the next one. Obviously, you played well all weekend. But how much did the momentum of winning this game and then the next game and the next game carry over as the weekend went on, ultimately, obviously, cresting to the point where you won all of them?
It was like a positive domino effect. So like coming in as a redshirt freshman, like I haven't yet played a collegiate softball game. So to win that first one, it really meant a lot. So to go back to the locker room after the games, after saying hi to our families and just going in there, and all of us are still on the same page and ready to do a job the next day, is like what carried on. So even through the warm-ups, even through BP, like the moment that we woke up gritty, we were ready to go, and we knew that we had to get a job done, and that's what we did.
Justin?
Van, I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you here. I'm curious for you, just when you saw what you had with your team this year, you knew what your schedule looked like and all that kind of thing. I'm curious for you, did you picture a weekend like this to start off? Did you picture this kind of success right off the bat?
First, can I just say, after the weekend of softball that the country has had, I just want to say thank you to you and Eric both for being here, because I know that there's a ton of softball that needs to be covered. So just let me say that first. I really do appreciate y'all. Second, no, I knew we were. I know we're better. I know the mentality's better. I know the skill sets are better. But you never really know until you get out there, and they don't know until they get out there, and I don't know that I expected 5-0. I definitely expected us to go out there and fight. That's what I really expected from our teams to do. I've always just really just fight, compete is sort of my. I have an older sister, and that's all we did with each other was fight and compete. She's my best friend. I mean, I just got off the phone with her, but that's, we fought and we competed and we beat each other up and we wanted to be the best. And it's kind of ingrained in me that's who I am. So usually my teams will do that. And that's what I expected. And that's what I expect, is that we just don't go away. We want more. And that's what I'm the most proud of. And that's what I expected. And that's what I saw. And we turned around and looked at the scoreboard each game, and it had a W. So that was the icing on the cake.
Sean?
Coach, you've got one of ESPN's top broadcast teams doing your home games with Kat Osterman and Alex Loeb. How much does that mean for the program?
Well, I definitely think it's, I don't know, that's like jaw dropping, right? Like, you have Kat Osterman, one of the best pitchers in the entire world, arguably the best. I mean, we could probably get into some conversations about that. and you have her, I'm lucky enough that I get to call her and text with her and talk about the team and talk about the girls. So from a coaching standpoint, it's invaluable. You can't measure it. And then from outsider looking in, it gives us some respect. It gives us value. One of our players, Maddie Hornback, her grandfather, I think, or grandfather, grandmother, reached out to Kat and on Instagram and sent a story about when Maddie Hornback was younger. She was at a camp, she got a picture, an autograph, and then now she's playing third base and Kat Osterman's saying her name on TV, and it was just it's a full circle moment there. So it just gives us a lot of credit. It gives us a lot of value. I'm very appreciative to have both of them here this year. Last year it was just Kat. Now we have Kat and Alex, and the investment by our athletic department to bring in top talent like that says that we are important to UTSA, and it brings a lot of value, it should say, to the softball players out there that UTSA is moving in the right direction in softball.
Eric?
Coach, thanks for the shout out, number one. Number two, you mentioned the conference, FAU beating Ole Miss, beating Clemson and Kansas. It looks like they're going to probably be ranked in the top 25 this week. Wichita State going undefeated out west in a tournament. Just speak to this conference as a whole, because I know all you coaches talk about being a multi-bid league. You and I have talked about that. Just talk about this and how important, because you're contributing to this with this great start.
Absolutely. It's something that the coaching network, the coaches in the AAC have gotten together, and it is important for us. We would like to try to get at least 2 bids, and we did last year and the year before that. But we're working toward a 3-bid league, and last year the conference was, I think, 7th in RBI. I mean, RPI. I have all the RBIs next to me. It's on my mind. But so we know we've got a lot of experienced coaches in the league. Trina played, now she's at Memphis. She played at LSU and did a great job at Campbell. Jordan at FAU was, at Arkansas and other great play. Obviously Ken Erickson. I can name all of them. Christy at Wichita's done an incredible job with that program. Everybody is fresh, I would say. I always say I'm not young, but I'm fresh and eager and still want to, fight. I just think our conference really wants to put a good product out there. And it's important that we all do well. I mean, and we've really impressed upon our coaching group. We've done a really good job in our head coaches, calls and whatnot, in impressing upon each school their role and what we need to do to continue to push our league forward.
John?
KK, Coach has talked about the importance she's placed on recruiting San Antonio, and you being from the area. How important do you think it is for local players to play for UTSA, and what makes it such a great place for them to play?
I think it's an amazing opportunity to be able to be home and play in your hometown and represent your hometown as well as that, because everybody talks about Houston, everybody talks about Dallas, everybody talks about those big cities, but we really UTSA is like San Antonio. Like, we don't have like the Dallas Cowboys out here. Like, we have UTSA, and that is ever since I've lived here, I've known UTSA forever. So just knowing that you're representing more than just yourself, you're representing your city and your community, and just doing the small things for your community as well. Like, whenever us girls go to a food bank or something and do community service, it means a lot to your community, and giving back to that, because for me, I take pride in what I do. I take pride in my people here, even my family, all my family lives here, and I've lived here for years. So, and it's an amazing opportunity. I think everybody should take advantage of that too, because for myself, I get to go home every night and go eat a nice cooked dinner by my mom. So I think it's amazing.
And Katia, your numbers were obviously very impressive this weekend. How about the job that Kaylee did behind the plate catching you this weekend?
Man, when you can throw that ball a few inches off the plate and still get the call, you know your catcher's doing her job right, you know. Bases loaded. I go in with one ball on the batter. Ask me if I remember any of the noise. No. Ask me what I do remember, looking into Roach's eyes after every pitch and genuinely grasping the fact that she's got me. Caught every ball and said, I got you. You know, like that's something I'm gonna remember forever. The thrill of that game, but more importantly, looking at her after every pitch that I threw, whether it was a ball 5 feet over her head or a ball that she blocked with the runner on third, I got you. And when you can trust that your team behind you and that your catcher, most importantly, has got you, it's limitless after that, you know? Like that's a bond that can't be broken right there.
Eric?
For the players, just describe playing for Coach and her vision and her energy there and how that helps you there. Just describe that playing for her.
Coach Van's energy is something I have never met a person like Coach Van before ever. And so I want to say I am truly blessed to be able to have her as a coach because the energy she brings every day, not just like it's not temporary energy. Like the way she is the way she is. That's who she is. That's what you're gonna get. And that's what every player should get because like Coach Van, every day she's very real with us. She comes out with her energy and it feeds off to all of us. So we all come out with high energy, but just like knowing that she knows her stuff as well too, because she's a very educated coach. She's been doing this for a very long time. So there's no doubt that she doesn't know what she's doing, obviously. But the energy part is just outstanding. I've never met a coach like Coach Van before.
Did she just call me old? Did you, is that what y'all heard? That's definitely what I heard. That she just said I was old.
She's fresh.
Yeah. Katia heard it. She heard it.
Oh man.
That's too funny. Coach, obviously a lot of great things you saw on the field this week. What were a couple things that maybe surprised you about this week? And what are a couple things you feel you got to work on now moving forward because we're just beginning the season?
Well, I don't know that I was surprised by this, but the experience that Kat brought in that it was a 14-13 crazy game and there's bases loaded and she goes in the game with a ball on the batter, bases loaded. I think it was 14-12. She walks that batter and makes it 14-13. And then I'll take credit for that because when I left her out there, I said, they're going to swing. They are going to swing. So that girl didn't. So that's on me. But the next hitter hits a swinging bunt and we don't make the out. I guess that made it 14-13. We don't make the out. And her composure after she goes out, she has two miscues. And then the composure to throw a 3-2, bases loaded, 2 out, 1 run down, change up for the strikeout. You know, I don't know that I was surprised by that, but how gritty that was and how impressive that was really stood out to me. And there really was no better pitcher at the time to be in because she is our most experienced pitcher in terms of innings pitched and big playoff games. So kudos to the coach for putting her in, right? No, but I was really impressed with that moment. It spoke volumes to me. And then to follow it up with an impressive performance in the championship game with she took a no-hitter into the 7th inning and had a really impressive outing. Was just to stack that and show the consistency to the young pitching staff. I think things to work on, you know, we do have a young pitching staff, so consistency there. Also, everybody wants to execute better their bunts, their hit and runs, their when to steal, when not to steal. When you know, we got thrown out a couple of times that maybe we shouldn't have been running in. But I also don't want to hold them back. You know, I want them to be aggressive. I've got a lot of pieces. We're moving around a lot of players. So we're just trying to, you know, we'll try to figure out how to settle into something and continue to be confident in tight situations. I think one of the biggest things is making sure they're fueled with with confidence. I know it really can't come from me or come from outside, but set them up for success in situations in practice where they can draw confidence from. It's not too easy, but it's not too hard, and learning to continue to grow on that confidence so that we can put a more consistent product out there. I thought day one we did well, day three we did well, day two we were a little spotty, and I'd like to be, a little bit more consistent, and we'll have to figure out ways to make that happen.
All right, that'll wrap things up. Roadrunners will now turn their attention towards the Lion Classic. Thank you, everyone, for attending.
Birds up!